My favorite stretch is about 1 mile downstream from Bladensburg. After passing under the New York Avenue and the Amtrak bridges, I round a bend and enter another world, my Walden Pond. Disconnected from my cell phone, computer, or TV. The din of traffic is faded and there's not a building in sight. The Kentland Aquatic Gardens are on the left bank and the National Arboretum on the right. I regularly see all different kinds of wildlife. In 1997, I realized that the Anacostia River flows parallel to the Anacostia Freeway. Why not commute by boat, I thought. Growing up next to the Delaware River, I have always been a river rat, so the thought of rowing to work caught my fancy. I can make the trip in less than 1 hour in my rowing shell. For many years, I commuted by metro to my job at the Library of Congress, then on a motorcycle. But for the past 14 years, from March through November, my routine has been to bicycle from our home in Cheverly to the Bladensburg waterfront, row my boat to the Anacostia Community Boathouse adjacent to the Pennsylvania Avenue Bridge, and then ride my second bike the 1.5 miles to the Library of Congress. In the evening, I take the metro to Cheverly and ride home on bike number 3. The next day, I do the reverse. It's easy to zone out with the rhythmic moving of the oars and the tranquil surroundings. And since rowers face the boat's stern, there is a risk of running into objects, which I have done on several occasions, including a collision with the Benning Road Bridge. The boat flipped over, but luckily there was no damage, with the exception of a little to my pride. The river is full of contrasts. Even the name Anacostia evokes contradictory feelings: crime, poverty, and urban blight. Unfair accusations, since there are many stable neighborhoods and stunning views in that part of the city. I, however, associate the name Anacostia with the mystery and allure of the waterway. The variety of wildlife is astonishing. The herons are my favorites. The big blues rule the river. Perched on a floating log or an overhanging branch, these prehistoric-looking creatures focus laser-like on catching fish. Occasionally, I come too close, and they squawk angrily and fly off. The white herons appear later in the season and are more sociable than the blues. They are dazzling in their plumage. Many of the animals, however, are at risk because of the toxicity of the river. Once, I noticed a car tire floating by with a huge terrapin stuck in the center hole. It had become ensnared by the tire and drowned. The river is teeming with fish. Some are very big, but many, especially the bottom feeders, have tumors because of the carcinogens in the water. It's a shock to see a spotless white heron surrounded by a floating mass of plastic bottles and trash. The amount of debris in the river, especially after a heavy rainfall, can be staggering, and my boat is often covered with slime. The pollutants you can't see are even worse. But while many problems remain, the river has improved a great deal over the past 14 years. Most encouraging is the number of young people who regularly use the river. At 6 a.m., often when it is still dark, and in the evening, the river is full of boats belonging to high school and college crews. The future of the river is in their hands. As Robert Boone, the retired director of the Anacostia Watershed Society, said recently, the Anacostia was once the forgotten river, but it has been rediscovered.